Hello and welcome people, what's going on? It's Maze on TV, and obviously I'm watching this right now at halftime. So the halftime has just happened and we hear Ro16 and all the rest of them talk about the Bayern Munich versus Juventus first half, and I have to say I'm impressed. I don't normally get impressed at all by the way how we play, but I'm impressed just the way we've dominated a team as good as Juventus, and the fact that they've not even been able to get to the ball, and that's just surprising me the most, because it's okay to do that against teams that we know that we play against regularly, because we know how they play and everything, but against a team like Juventus, who we haven't played since 2013, to do it the way that we're doing it right now is just very, very, very impressive. And if I go back to my tactical analysis, obviously I got the formation wrong, so yeah, I don't know what your name was again, but someone that commented in the video that said that basically Juventus won't play a 3-5-2 or a 4-3-2. Well, they won't play a 3-5-2. That didn't really work out, but they did kind of defend with 5-3-2 to an extent, and then they switched up again. But ultimately, their attacking formation is a 4-4-2, which obviously is not working at all out for them. And honestly, this game has not been played in midfield. Basically, like I said, their weakness is the wings. And it just showed that they tried to double and triple mark Costa, and that did not happen at all because Costa just absolutely destroyed them. With Robin, it was a bit different. Robin, he just tried to keep possession, not actually do much himself with the ball, until obviously he crossed the ball for Costa, and then Costa passed it back to Müller, who scored the goal. But obviously, overall in this game, I do have to say that we're not clinical enough. I don't think we're clinical enough at all. You'll see a few comments here from people that tweeted. But I don't think we've been clinical enough whatsoever. I think we could have been up 2 or 3-0, but it just seems like we're getting the ball, we're trying to create the chances, but we're not actually moving enough. And I think that Müller's touch actually has been really poor, but obviously he's got the goal, so I can't really complain right now. But we've been amazing. We've been amazing, just not clinical enough in my opinion, and I don't know how that's going to change in the second half. I think Kimmich has been pretty great. He's won headers in the box against Mandzukic. I was like, yo, Kimmich, lad! Winning headers in the box against Mandzukic, not bad at all. Alaba, he's done well. At first he looked a little bit shaky because he kept slipping. I was like, oh, stop slipping. I've got bad memories of you slipping, so please stop slipping, yo. But that was only like 2 or 3 times right in the first 15 minutes, and then he stopped slipping. He's been essentially playing as a midfielder, same as Kimmich actually. Just because we've been so high up the field. Juventus have tried to counter a few times, but then we've had like 3 or 4 people just try and press them as much as possible to try and stop the counter, and it has worked so far most of the times. I'm still a little bit afraid that it might work later on as well. So obviously we have the away goal now, which is great, but a game is 90 minutes, and that's why I'm still a little bit scared. That we might not do too well, but I think the more Juventus will try to attack, the more we'll have Costa, and I do believe that Coleman will come in eventually to try and help the game out in the second half around the 60th minute. Maybe Frank Ribery will come on as well, with maybe Costa going into midfield, because he is a technical he's basically the player that is able to beat every single player in midfield, and that's what we're kind of lacking right now, because Thiago, when he gets on the ball, he just passes it, and I thought that this game it lacked someone in midfield. Normally I'd say that Thiago has been flawless because I love Thiago, but in this game he's literally been non-existent. Same as like Pogba and whatnot. Like I thought this match might become like a midfield battle in midfield between Pogba and Thiago and whatnot and the likes of that, but it hasn't really happened. It's been much more of a just get the ball to the wings. Vidal has been phenomenal. I think all his passes have been successful, and just such an amazing game. I have to say, we are playing at such a high level right now, and if we can keep this up for the next 45 minutes, we'll win this game. And that's me being bold, because I normally don't say we'll win a game that confidently, but I do think that we'll win this game 3-1. And that's my prediction now for the rest of I mean, I said that before the game, 3-1, but my prediction for the end of the match is that we'll win 3-1. Tell me what you guys think. Obviously, actually no, that's a stupid question, because by the time you watch this video, the game will already have been over. So we'll see what happens in the second half. Obviously, you see a few comments here right now on what people thought about the first half. Yay! See you in the second half. We choked. We absolutely choked. It's not like it's a bad result, don't get me wrong, but drawing 2-2 after being up 2-0, it's awful. It's honestly awful, and we could have been safe and through today, but no, instead we made it more difficult for us. So we have to win at home now, which is going to be very difficult, and honestly, I don't know how to describe this match, because the first half was obviously, it was flawless, but the second half we literally just dropped off. We didn't want to defend anymore. Our players looked really tired, and I get that maybe, you know, having played on Saturday and whatnot, that our players might be a little bit tired. But sort of Juventus, you know, they've been chasing the ball for 90 minutes. They've been chasing the ball for 45 minutes, and they didn't look as tired as we did. I honestly thought we should have subbed a few players in a lot earlier. I think Ribery should have come on around the 60th minute. I think Coleman should have come on to bring a little bit more pace, but he didn't. And yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, Kimmich had an overall good game. He won nearly everything, but obviously he made 1.5 mistakes, I'd say. He made one obviously big mistake where his touch let him down, and he made a second mistake where he didn't really track his man fast enough, and ultimately, you know, these are the 2 goals that we conceded. But I think overall we could have defended those 2 chances much better, because in the first half we actually had people besides our centre backs and our full backs in the box, whereas in the second half we didn't have that, which just to me shows that we were too tired to actually track back. And that's a big problem here, not the fact that we conceded 2 goals, but the fact that we conceded 2 goals because we were too tired. And honestly, I have to say that after seeing the first half, I don't know exactly I don't know what exactly the players did at halftime, but when they came out, they just looked totally out of it. And honestly, it's a waste. It's a waste. It's honestly a waste. But I think overall, I think the second half we just didn't look confident enough. If we had a midfielder, we should have put a midfielder on, because I think we kind of lacked another midfielder to give us that kind of stability. And I think that Juventus played it really smart when he put Sturaro on, because he gave him the extra option in midfield, which obviously meant that we had to get the ball past that extra player. Although it didn't really look that way, but honestly we had the chances to score another one. We had the chances to score another 2, but you know, the first half we had a chance that Müller could have scored, but obviously the pass wasn't that good. And overall, I think this game was just a wasted opportunities. Lately, we've been very clinical, but today we come back to our game where we waste a lot of opportunities, and that should have, you know, it's awful. It's awful, but it is what it is. And ultimately, we've got to win at home now, or at least draw a 1-1 draw, or 0-0 draw. 2-2 draw would obviously send us to extra time, and a 3-3 draw and we lose. So I prefer a win. We're playing at home, so I'm pretty confident that we'll win at home. But we could have also had it. We could have had it a lot easier. We could have gone through already. We could have been through already, and that's what's really bothering me. It's not the fact that we drew 2-2, because ultimately that's a great result. I would have been happy with that before the match, but we threw it away. That's the big problem here. We threw it away, and it seems like every time we play away in the Champions League, we bottle. We just have a bottle drop, and it's like the Manchester City match where we were winning 3-2, I believe, or 3-1, and then suddenly Manchester City score 2 goals to draw it, or to win 4-3 or whatever it was. It's honestly, it's just the way we've been at the moment. Like we can't win away in the Champions League, and that's the big problem. That's what I'm not that bothered at home, but. Okay, it's Juventus. We're playing against Juventus, of course, they're a difficult opponent, but I don't think we're going to struggle too much at home, just because at home we're actually clinical for some reason. We move a lot more, we try and get to the ball a lot more, we create a lot more, so that's the big difference here. But it's not like we didn't create anything today at all. It's just that we just didn't finish anything, and that's the big problem I have. But as I said, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'm a little bit, I guess you could say a little bit frustrated. I wouldn't say I'm mad or anything, but I just think it's a waste. The way we've been playing the second half, I think basically the way we played in the second half is just essentially off. Like I think that if Juventus hadn't scored the first goal, we would have won that game. I think we would have scored another goal, but they did score that goal from a mistake from Kimmich, obviously. But yeah, it's just what it is. For me, man of the match, I don't know who to give it to. I'll probably give it to Vidal, just because I feel like he was the one player that really played consistently from the first from the first and the second half. I thought Müller, he had a pretty okay game, not his best, but not his worst. He scored, but ultimately his overall game was pretty poor. Then you look at someone like Lewandowski. There were a few chances that he could have gotten, maybe a penalty he could have gotten, or two. Well, actually, yeah, let's say one penalty, because the other one was a slight shirt pull, which I don't think should have been a penalty. But we could have done much better. Our players, they didn't really look up for it in the second half. They just looked like, okay, we've got the 2-0 win, let's try and defend. Instead of thinking, okay, we got the 2-0 win, let's try and score and do the thing and do it the way that we have been doing it. But we'll see how it goes in the second leg, of course. But because this is obviously only the first leg, and you need to win both matches. Well, you need to be superior in both matches. So yeah, it is what it is. But it is a little bit of a waste. But thanks for watching, people. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace out and have a nice day.